Well, maybe we're live this time. I had trouble on the last launch. Let's see what we have here. I've got it. Yay. Woohoo. We are live. Yes, it's alive. I'm Max. It's time to rant. This is my second attempt because Facebook software can be a little bit twitchy, but here I am. Okay, let's get into it. Let me turn off this keyboard, toss it away. I want to talk about partisanship in politics. And I'm going to tell you what, partisanship, that's nasty. And it's never been more obvious than it was last night during the president's basically State of the Nation when he addressed the Democrats and the Republicans in the Congress. You know what? It was a great speech, typical Trump, a little bit of repetition. Let's get down to it. Please listen. But it was marred by the open rebellion of the Democrats. These sour-faced whiny asses just sitting there and so angry they don't have President Harris or Biden. You could feel the hatred. You could feel it over the TV. The Democrats they're opposed to every single word that come out of Trump's mouth. He couldn't even smile without them disappointing, saying, I don't like that. There was a point during his speech when there was a young man, a high school student, who was admitted to West Point, didn't think he'd make it. He had great grades, but they had apparently reached a DEI entry quota. Mr. Trump, in the course of the meeting, said, young man, know this. You've been accepted to West Point. The president put him in West Point. Okay? That's a great thing. It's a thing to celebrate. A lot of folks jumped to their feet and applauded. This young man was shocked. He did not see it coming. But the people who stood and applauded were all independent and Republican. None, not one of the Democrats did. Hell, it's insane. They all sat there stony-faced like it's a bad thing to get a kid into West Point. Maybe it's because he's white. I don't know. But then President Trump mentioned this young black boy who's recovering from brain cancer. He's supposed to be dead already, but he's beating the odds. And he's been appointed a junior Secret Service agent. They held him up high. This little boy flashed his proud badge. He was hugged by the director of the Secret Service. A wonderful feel-good moment. Not for the Democrats. They sat there with their little Save Medicaid signs, Save U.S. AIDS, all this crap. They sat still. No one stood. No one applauded. Nobody even smiled. What the hell is going on here? Republicans and independents were all rising and applauding. These are nonpartisan issues. But your Democrats? No. Because it's Trump. They're having nothing of it. It made my ass hurt. Do you understand this? Democrats sat stone-faced, whispering to each other, playing on their cell phones. Democrats completely, rudely shut out everything the president had to say. Mr. Trump could have announced world peace, a cure to cancer, the secret to eternal life. But he would have been met with the very same sitting on their asses, expressionless people that we saw in last night's address. My friends in Singapore and Japan were shocked. They couldn't believe there could be what they call such insolence. And insolence is a good word. It's unreasonable. It's rude. Yes, insolent. And antisocial. They're either totally Trump derangement syndrome or it's the pressure that Nancy Pelosi continues to apply. Remember this. She may no longer be the speaker, but Pelosi wields unparalleled power, unparalleled influence over the House. Democrats are scared shitless of her. They're either under her spell or they're wise enough to stay the hell out of her way, okay? Trump derangement syndrome emanating from the heart of the evil Nancy the Nazi Pelosi. How does Pelosi wield this power? How does she do it? You've got the entire Democrat Party in lockstep. Every single one, not a single dissenting Democrat. They're sitting there, stone-faced, dumb-assed, ignoring the president. Is it bribery? Is it extortion or blackmail? It would seem something in that nature because this bitch has got a lock on every single Democrat in Congress. her power within the party, it would almost make you wonder who the real Speaker of the House is. She spent 2 years as Speaker and did a hell of a lot of damage, and it seems that Congress is too wise to reelect her. But if we end up with a Democrat Congress in 2 years, you can bet your ass they'll elect that wicked old bitch and make her Speaker and look the hell out. God, partisan politics make my ass hurt. And partisan politics has outworn its welcome. Our country, all of us, we're falling into an abyss, and we need to stop falling. Where's the parachute? It's easy to poke fingers at Democrats for being childish, Trump derangement syndrome, Musk derangement syndrome, ugly, mean. But you know what? Republicans aren't a whole lot better. Yeah, they behave better in public, but political parties, Democrat, Republican, Green, Independent, whatever, have got to go. We, as a people, must disband political parties. We got to break them up. Break them up. If you know what, if they want to have a political party, why don't you charge them under the RICO Act? The RICO Act, for those who don't know, I'll read the definition: Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. It was designed to break up the mob. Well, you know what? The Democratic Party, the Republican Party, they're no better than mobs of their own. A good example is what Pelosi's doing with her party. She's got every single Democrat member of Congress scared shitless of her. Jump, she says. How high, ma'am? Just jump. They jump. Come on. Only by eliminating political parties can you free up the people that are under extortion or blackmail or whatever force this bitch holds over them. And remember this, there are certain Republicans who are afraid of their leadership as well. If you wipe out the D for Democrat, the R for Republican, the I for Independent, whatever, wipe out the letter, wipe out the parties, put people in jail if you have to. The voters are going to have to vote for people, not the letter after the name. Now, a friend of mine said, yeah, but a whole lot less people are going to vote if you do that. And my answer is good. If they're too damn stupid to look up the person's stance, we don't want them voting. So take that letter off the back of each one and give Americans a chance to vote for the people and not suffer partisan politics.